Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Boozer here. Hopefully you guys are having a good start to the week. I know I've been away the past couple of days, a little bit sparse on the videos, just mainly due to being sick and taking care of the family because everybody's sick. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I want to make this video as a kind of companion video to my most recent video, which was about my new Emic Iron Twins team that I've been using. So far it's been going great, but there are a couple things that I want to go over in this video that might help you guys out if you guys don't have the exact champions that I was using in the initial video. And I want to go over a couple things that might actually help you guys troubleshoot a couple issues that you guys might run into. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so Iron Twins, so basically there's some questions in the comments about the original team that uses Emic. Emic's main move protects your team with the unkillable buff, but the Iron Twins does ignore unkillable. However, it only ignores unkillable with this one move of voltaic pendulums, and it only attacks one enemy. So the Iron Twins attacks one enemy, and that move can ignore the unkillable buff when the Iron Twins is below 40%. And then it attacks everybody else, but if everybody else has the unkillable buff, then that's okay. So basically, like, this is a single target move that's basically made to break unkillable teams against Iron Twins, which is really weird because block damage works totally fine. However, you can kind of prevent this from happening if you can save Emic from this voltaic pendulums attack. And Emic, since Emic puts the taunt out, Emic will always be targeted with this ability, so you won't risk losing your team's unkillable to this move. Only Emic needs to survive this move. So if you build the Emic strong enough, it can survive this ability. Healing helps, so I'll go over a couple things that's going to help you guys out if you guys run into any issues here. You guys will notice that with the Iron Twins, all the other moves do not ignore unkillable, so your team is actually safe for any move except for this voltaic pendulums, but it's always targeted at Emic because of the taunt. That's why Emic works and not Maneater, for example. So I'm going to go over what I've been working on testing Emic and general gear thresholds that worked and didn't work, and what you guys can do for your Emic to make it work. So here's my Emic. I actually have him in 4-piece stone skin because I was planning to use him for live arena maybe on this account. This is my alt account. He's fast enough, same speeds, 271, 3.6k defense, 78k HP. Rest of the stats don't matter at all. In my original video on my main account, actually I didn't have any masteries on him and he worked perfectly fine. The reason why is because Geomancer enables runs to go super fast. So Emic never suffers critical damage to the point where he dies, where his unkillable is ignored and then he dies. So he basically never dies in a Geomancer team. However, if you don't have Geomancer, you have to have other options. And other options are a little bit slower. So in a slower team, he will run the risk of dying, but with these stats, I was able to basically lift it past the threshold of living and dying. However, I did have to put some masteries on him. So here are the masteries I have on him. You don't need 3000 extra HP. It's nice to have, but you don't need it. But I think the key for him is having the reduced damage here, extra shields here, extra shields, all this extra shield stuff. And then this damage reduction from a specific enemy, and then chance to remove one of the random debuffs. These are everything except for this one is probably very helpful to your Emic. So if you want to run these masteries, you don't need to run regeneration gear. If you run regeneration gear, you don't need masteries at all. However, hitting stats like these are actually pretty hard, well, at least for me on this account, it was pretty hard for me to reach with regen gear. So I found a way to do it without regen gear. Obviously stone skin, you don't need stone skin. But these masteries I found were really helpful and was the difference between success and failure. So that's kind of one way to skip around the gear requirements. You can have full broken sets, use these masteries, and you're good to go. Obviously the stats are still pretty good, but I don't have any faction guardians, no empowerment, no blessings. So I do have a full Grey Hall, but you know, this is still like, you know, Iron Twins 15, so it's still going to be pretty end game difficulty dungeon for most people. But this build works perfectly fine, and the reason why this build is needed is because we're running non-Geomancer teams. So that's the key here. If you're running a non-Geomancer team, you're going to need a tankier Emic or a regen Emic to survive the Voltaic Pendulum's attack. Okay, so in my team, I am using Newt in the 253 slot. So he's 253. He's in Savage. He's going to do the triple hits. Currently, we're running him in the against Magic Affinity, which is the worst affinity and the highest chance to fail. However, I have not failed yet today with Newt, so he's 6 for 6. The runs are a bit slower. However, Emic died, I believe Emic died once, but our team still had an extra turn to use the max HP hits and was able to finish off the Iron Twins. I guess there is a very small chance of failure if you're very lucky and you get weak hit, weak hit, weak hit. But this is against Magic Affinity, and it should not happen against the other affinities. Okay, and then the partner max HP DPS champion I'm using is Cold Heart. If you don't have Nut, you can use 2 Cold Hearts. I will showcase 2 Cold Hearts in this team. The reason why Cold Heart's really good in this comp is because Cold Heart's animation is actually really fast. So your team's actually really fast. You could also use Armiger. Armiger doesn't hit as hard, but he's always going to use the A2. So he will hit more often with his max HP hit, but he won't hit as hard per hit, if that makes sense. Also, he's going to be slightly worse because he is affinity based, so he will struggle against Magic Affinity. You could also use Septimus. Septimus is going to be a similar issue as Armiger with the affinity. He'll hit as hard as Cold Heart, but he will have the affinity issues as well. So I recommend 2 Cold Hearts or Nut. Nut has the triple hit with the max HP, so he's going to be probably pretty equal to having 2 Cold Hearts. But we'll test out the Nut here, and then we'll test out the 2 Cold Hearts as well. Sorry, I'll go over the team setup. If you guys are new to the video, make sure you guys check out the first video for this team. And then yeah, you guys can use this as a kind of companion video. So here's a team: 271 Emic. He's fully booked, of course. Painkeeper, he's going to be 247 and a 250. Quick tip: if you guys have a stronger Painkeeper, give him some more HP. I got some really bad gear on these Painkeepers. So you can see here 42 and 26, because the A2 actually gives them a bit of healing, so it does heal up your Emic. If you don't have regen gear, this helps your Emic survive, so that's really important. And then we have Nut at 253, and then Cold Heart at 223. It doesn't matter which one. You can have Nut at 223 and Cold Heart 253. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's jump into a run and see if we don't fail on video. But I haven't failed yet with this team. So we do okay. I believe max hit's like 400 something. Yeah, I think 490 is the max hit, I think. So my Cold Heart's not strong enough to max hit. But if you guys have stronger Cold Hearts, definitely go for it. I didn't put any super good gear or anything on my Cold Heart. You see there's 3 really low hits from that Nut. So this might be a good showcase to show the Emic may be dying. But the Emic really shouldn't die too often here. And again, I don't have regen gear on my Emic. He's just running basically broken gear and running some masteries that boost his shield and healing. We have 2 Painkeepers that are not fully booked on the A2, so they won't be healing as often. And that's it. So let's see if it works. I think it should be okay, but we could get some bad RNG and could fall flat here. Big slam there, but we're still okay. There we go, big slam, 2 weak hits. So this is a pretty bad run. But we're getting close. I think we should be okay. If Emic's still alive at this point, he should be okay. Alright, as long as he doesn't die to the voltaic pendulum attack. He's always going to eat it here. Still alive, and boom. Minute 36. So this is super solid. Like I said, minute 20, best time with this team for me. Anything over a minute 45, I think that's when Emic might die. But even when Emic dies, your team will still be unkillable, and you will still have one round of your attacks. So if the boss is close, you will still break through. So if you have like refresh accessories or anything like that to give your guys an extra chance, then that's great. Extra chance throughout the whole run, that's great. So we know that this team works. I've yet to fail at all with this team. So we'll pop in the fast cohort here, and then we'll show you guys what double cohort can do. I'll show you guys what double cohort can do. I would expect a similar result. So let's see. Hopefully I got everything good. So the biggest problem here is if the run goes too long, or if your Emic is too weak. That's one of the biggest problems. But I found this worked really well, especially if you didn't have the regen gear. You don't need the regen gear, but you do need a little bit of masteries. And having your Painkeepers ascended, fully booked on the A2 gives it more healing for Emic, keeps him alive a little bit better. But for me, it wasn't like super necessary. Just the masteries was enough. But obviously, I recognize that I have pretty good gear, so it might be different for you, but it definitely can work without full regen gear. And without Geomancer, of course. Geomancer is going to cut the time in half. Roughly about 40 to 50 seconds. So this cohort run actually is going pretty good actually. So maybe double cohort might be faster than nut. Actually, it's it might be actually be faster actually. Let's see here. Get the reset in right now. So next, actually it might be faster. There's Emic going down, but we still get the extra hit, and boom, actually faster, guys. So double cohort is actually faster. Yeah, but Emic died. It was a little bit scary, but we have the guaranteed last hit. It always seems that Emic dies and then we get the guaranteed last hit. So it's probably the sequence where he places a taunt on himself, triggers the unkillable ignoring attack on himself, he dies, but then because everything got reset, my cohorts or the max HP hitters get one last hit. And in this case, they're all void. So this is a guaranteed time. So you don't even need nut to produce this time. Anyways, I'll go over the team one more time for you guys. So the cohort, like I said, like not even crit capped here, 70, 250, 100, 250. They're not maxing out the damage, so you can definitely go higher on the crit damage. No defense down, so you're probably looking at like 290, 280 at least to max out the max hits. Like I said, if you guys have higher level Painkeepers, make sure you ascend them, give them some more HP so their A2s can actually heal up Emics a bit more. And then Emic 271. The speeds, I'm not 100% whether there's any give. There might be, but I wasn't able to fully test it out. It's kind of hard with Iron Twins and like testing things because you only have 6 keys. So it's like you just do things that work. But yeah, these work 100%. So far I haven't yet to fail a single run. Everything's obviously fully booked on the cooldown and stuff, so you guys can't get around that. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's a bit of a companion video for the first video using Geomancer. Like I said, Geomancer is going to be twice as fast, but I recognize not everyone has Geomancer. Like for example, this account does not have Geomancer, but double cohort works pretty good, I gotta say. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.